Woo, that Snicker tasted good. Good morning, Keon.
Good morning, Tamika.
Did you miss us?
Vukovic.
You playing?
Vukovic. I almost said
Hello,
Vukovic.
WNOV listeners. This is Tamika Vukovic, co-executive director of Wisconsin Voices. This is our radio show, Be a Voice. We have next to me.
Who do you have next to you?
Joe Dre, policy director.
Brian Sanders, lead organizer.
Latoya, director of organizing and partnership.
See, you almost forgot. See, one of the
No,
things.
she didn't forget. That's her word.
No, she almost be forgetting. Let me tell you, I'm trying to get her to forget because that is one title. I forget titles of my people, so I'd be like, "What's your title?" And I'll be like, "This is Latoya White," and then I'll say she is the director of, and she just automatically goes partnership and organize.
That's her breather word, though.
That's her moneymaker.
I'm talking about the She didn't
Leave her
forget.
alone. See,
She didn't forget at all.
what? See, he called you
Yeah,
out.
wait a minute.
When I'm nervous, I do say yeah.
I said it's your breather. It's
She
cool.
working on it. You
She
gotta
cool.
leave her
Ain't nothing wrong
alone.
with it.
Now you are
Yeah.
What had happened was we are
Put that in the kitchen sink and the bathroom sink.
we are so excited to be here again. We got some little stuff to talk about, but we're gonna definitely talk about this policy. Joe has done some significant research and we wanted people to call in, but we're gonna start right. We're gonna give something away. We got another gift card to the Bavarian Beer House. 414-444-4240.
No.
Now
444-5250.
Listen, why won't she wear her glasses?
It's not. I'm not.
You just went your eyes. You just squinted so hard.
Okay, so
The lady
I can
before you would leave her
see,
glasses on the table.
but
trying
here's
to
the
read.
thing: I can see up close. I can't see far, so I can see all you beautiful people. If I had to look at the stop
That's
sign,
closer to me though.
but I see it. I just got it wrong. It wasn't that I couldn't see. I just got it wrong.
She's still in denial.
No, I just got it
optometrists
wrong.
want to check my executive director's eyes. Just give us a call at 414-444-5250. Any optometrists or ophthalmologists out there? 414-444-5250 for
She's
Tamika
looking at him
Vukovic.
like I'm not going with him.
Yeah. Hey,
Remember that time I told y'all
What is
that
they
story?
problem?
Well, did I tell you that story where I fired Brian for a weekend?
Yeah.
Y'all want to hear this story?
No, we already
Yeah,
told the
she-
story.
Yeah, she's trying to say it again. Look, that's a threat. I know what that meant. All
I'm
right.
just saying.
Until the next email.
Until he has to do another email. So today's question is: we have been on for a week and a half now, and we want to know. Tell us two of the partners that we associate with which we promote. Two partners: 414-444-5250.
And they'll win what?
It's either a $25 or $50 gift card to Bavarian Beer House. Bavarian Beer House is where we are having our second annual gala.
February 16th.
When is that, Brian?
February 16th at 5 p.m.
From 5 to
Bavarian Beer
10.
House.
We got some great people coming. We have some great sponsors coming. We have a load of auction items that we are going to be putting up, and we're going to start giving you that information pretty soon. But you do not want to miss your tickets. Go to wisconsinvoices.org, click on second annual gala. Y'all gonna get some nice t-shirts for free with your ticket purchase.
For free.
For free. And if you do not want to use the Evite or the Eventbrite, you can always email admin@wisconsinvoices.org and say, I'm paying at the door.
At the door?
D-O-O-O-O-O.
At the door.
Dough.
For sure.
So guess what I did yesterday, Keon?
What'd you do yesterday, Tamika?
Well, we had a special guest in studio yesterday.
Yeah.
What was her name? I think she was unemployed, so she was Lena C. Taylor. But at 4 o'clock, I text her when she was officially getting ready to get sworn in. I was like, Senator Taylor, or excuse me, Lena Taylor, you are unemployed for 4 more minutes.
Yeah. Say first time in 35 years.
Yeah, she said
30
since
years.
she was 9, she always had either a babysitting job,
Yeah.
shoveling
Yeah.
job, something. And she's like, I've been unemployed for 48 hours. I don't like this.
Should have seen she could have got that
Hey, that's
unemployment
something me
insurance.
and Judge Taylor got in common because I worked my butt off from like 7 years old.
Yeah, so we went to
Yes.
her swearing in, and we were just, it was a lot of support. And as we were sitting there, she said something to the effect of the judge who was swearing her in, well, this ain't her official, swearing in. I mean, they have some kind of event or something that they do, but there was people from all over the community right there just wanting to support her. So it was pretty cool. Now
What's up?
I did try to wake her up at 8 o'clock in the morning. She had to be at work. I was like, well, you don't know how to get up on a time, so I just wanted to make sure you were up.
Who don't know how?
You know, she
Man, she would walk up in the studio in pajamas. She's always up. I didn't know she slept.
But this is the funny part. She told Michelle to do something yesterday, and Michelle's like, do you realize I don't work for you anymore?
Oh, yeah. that infamous Eddie Murphy, Michael Jackson moment. I don't work for you.
That's 19 years or over the course of off and on 19 years of somebody working for you. Let's see. We have a caller. Let's see.
Did you push a button? You don't push
oh,
buttons.
you want me?
Mess up.
You told me to push. I'm sorry. I ain't pushing no more buttons.
Don't push no buttons.
You know, Keon is
Everybody
in charge
gonna
up
push
in here.
buttons and touch keys.
I don't really want to. I just,
I
but
said
the
what's
phone
gonna
was right
happen
here.
If I take that key out right there.
Yeah, I think go ahead. The
Okay.
cameras are rolling. You got to call.
Caller.
Hello.
Hello. Who is this?
Lucretia.
Hello, Lucretia. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Are you calling to give us comment or answer the question?
I'm gonna try to answer the question.
All right.
Okay. Let me hear.
Okay, so you needed two of your community partners.
Yes.
Neighborhood House
Yes.
and Sherman Park Phoenix. No, not Sherman Park Phoenix. Sherman Park Association.
There we go. Hey.
Good job,
Don't you got
Lucretia.
some music that you could be like ding, 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 ding?
Right. You the DJ? Can you DJ?
He is a producer.
I'm
Oh
here.
well, you're the producer.
No,
too.
we yelling at Keon right
You're
now.
in the middle of the new Abbott and Costello show.
Well, thank you. I'm glad
Congratulations, Lucretia.
and you picked two that we haven't really talked about yet. So that means that she from Neighborhood House. So I'm glad you know that you there. We are
No,
partners.
I'm not there. I'm at another a partner site.
Okay,
That's
but
it.
I am so glad that we do connect with Neighborhood House. We did some help them with last year. We helped them with some food giveaways, and then we did some community. It was a community based organizing where we were talking about housing with CDA.
Okay.
So it was amazing. Let me put you on hold, get your information, and we will get you your
Gift card.
gift card.
Thank you so much.
All right, please
Thank
hold.
you. See, that wasn't
She
that
talking
hard.
about me and she be too. No, she. Her.
Honey, let's am I still on? Let me explain something to y'all. My is because I'm not feeling well. Now, see, I was trying to defend you before. So, but let's go on with the So no, just kidding. Brian,
Yes.
what are you
Brian.
working on?
Oh, this week we are pretty much tackling the Gala project. Me and Nicole have been working on the best way to design
Is his mic on?
Is this mic on? Cause you
the best
don't
shirts.
sound like your mic on.
We trying to tell him how to.
So here's what happens. I try to talk on the phone in front of a speaker. You keep talking, and I'll watch the
Yeah.
levels. And make
Thank
sure
you for
they-
educating
they-
us.
We
We're
was just
good.
saying was his because
No,
it don't
it's good.
sound
It
like
was
it.
It's on.
Why we
I was on
arguing?
the phone in front of trying to get information so you get people.
He producing. Let him
Yeah,
produce.
I can still hear.
My bad.
I can still hear.
Ain't that right?
Now
You
it's
producing.
on.
Yeah.
Go on, girl.
You
That's what
producing.
producers do.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's
produce.
actually what I'm producing and answering phones.
Yeah.
He is
He
multi-
many
He
talents.
doing all of it.
Man,
Multitasking.
Go
man,
on
many
with
Your
talents.
brain
I'm gonna
actually
leave y'all alone and go
Oh,
back to.
Lord.
Okay.
Why they
You
messing
know,
with
Joe,
him
this is
today?
what I deal with here.
Why they messing with him? So
I got
Brian,
caught in the crossfire with that one. Yes.
um, tell us. I know you've been doing. Let's go a little bit into the gala
Mhm.
because you've been working on these auction items.
Absolutely.
Tell them a little bit about that again.
So I like doing auction items, just because it's always a way to tap in with the community and reach out to organizations that are, already making a footprint or imprint, however you want to say that, in the community. You know, if we can put them on another platform or get their item, whatever individual artists or even if it's a whole team of people that's got a product that they sell and creating, if they are willing to support our gala, and even for you individual organizations or companies or entrepreneurs right now that's listening to this, if you have anything that you would like to support or promote and you want to donate an auction item, contact myself or Nicole at wisconsinvoices.org, or Brian Bryan at wisconsinvoices.org. I am really big on highlighting our city. We have so many talented people here that make great items, that have some services and skills that are next level, and we need to promote you. We want to see what you got, and if we can get your item there, we'll promote it. We'll put it on our website. She'll do some awesome feature, and we'll take some cool pictures. We had in the past. We had shoes. This year we'll have tattoo artists working with us. We're gonna have a workout auction. We got a workout session auction off. We're working on getting some bikes in. We're gonna have some tickets to some sporting events. Of course, we're gonna always try to reach out to our local clothing designers. I'm still going to be, I still want to work with some of the local clothing designers the next week or so. So again, if you're a true Milwaukee or Milwaukeean or Wisconsinite, whatever you want to support or see your business get some promotion, and you just need to kind of revamp, or just like, hey, let me step outside my comfort zone. Show us what you got. We want to put it in our auction at our gala. It'd be nice to see it.
We also have an artist that we're going to be featuring 2 of his pieces of art, and his name is Bill Ross. He was he was coming up in the ranks in the early or the late 80s, early 90s. He has since passed away, but his artwork is gorgeous and beautiful. He has done murals in Chicago. He's worked in New York, and we are blessed to have gotten a few of his pieces to highlight his work. What we really want to do is support BIPOC and marginalized people in their businesses and in the community, because that is what our organization does. Speaking of which, we're going to get to some real conversations about some legislation, and we're going to Assembly Bill 554. And this is where our newest member of Wisconsin Voices, which is Joe Dre from, we ain't gonna say where he from because he just OH.
Yeah, you're supposed. I say OH. You're supposed to say IO. That's
No.
how it goes.
It's OH. We don't even know where that is. But let's talk. So Joe, tell the listeners about this bill. And the thing is, please pay attention, because if you have any children that are coming up in middle school, high school, college age children, this may affect you. Your grandchildren, the future kids you might have, this will affect you. So go ahead.
Yeah. So there's essentially 2 bills. One that's already been passed through the Assembly, Assembly Bill 554, and then the Senate's also taken up a similar bill, Senate Bill 596. So essentially what that does is this bill changes certain race-based programs or requirements in higher education. In general, the bill modifies these programs and requirements so they apply to disadvantaged students rather than minority students.
What? So I want you to say that again, because we're going to deep dive into that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So this bill changes certain race-based programs or requirements in higher education, so college. In general, the bill modifies these programs and requirements so they apply to disadvantaged students rather than minority students.
And the list of these, the programs, if you get let's see, a minority teaching loan program administered by the HEAB, which is the Higher Education Aid Board. The minority undergrad grant administered by the same board. Minority and disadvantaged student program, which is the University of Wisconsin system. The Lawton grant program, and that's with the University of Wisconsin system Board of Regents. The minority student participation and retention plan required of the WTCS, which is the Wisconsin Technical College System. Minority students participating in, let's see here, the Incentive Grant Award by the WTCS. All these are related to this. Now, what minority, you know what a minority is. It's a clear definition. You're a minority. What is their definition of disadvantaged?
And I think they kind of left this open a little bit and broad for a reason. But there was an amendment to the Assembly bill, Amendment 1, which kind of starts to clarify the meaning of disadvantage. So specifically under this amendment, a student is disadvantaged if that student has experienced any unfavorable economic, family, geographic, physical, or other personal hardships. So, I mean, when we talk about other personal hardships, I think that leaves the floodgates open for us to, or for other folks down the line to interpret what that means. I think what's the most disparaging is historically for many years, these funds and these programs have been designed to help minorities, specifically in the area of education and the medical profession, right? So, getting out there and getting your voice out there and letting your state senators and your state assemblymen know that we don't support this. We want to see that money stay with the minority groups right here in our community rather than opening the floodgates up to pretty much everybody.
This is when they started using, and I talked to another person about this, when they started categorizing race into a minority to a point, this is when it was going to start falling off the wagon. Everybody can be considered a disadvantaged class now, regardless. I was looking at this, and as Joe and I were talking, I was like, Joe, so you're telling me it is possible that a rich kid that had to move from Texas to Wisconsin because his dad got a divorce and dad got custody and he moved to Wisconsin, he just got displaced. Even though he might be loaded, he may qualify for one of these loans or benefits. Keon, you looking at me?
Michelle brings that up a lot when we're talking about business and the minority policies with that. The guy that owns the companies can put it under his wife's name because she's a white female, as opposed to African American or people of color or Chinese American or Mexican. So yeah, it's broken up. It's so diverse now. Anything other than anything can be.
Anything can be considered that.
Now think about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
there was we were taking, I think, Nicole, you guys all remember Nicole, the backbone and the
Mhm.
matriarch of our organization. We were taking an HR class, just learning about the do's and don'ts of firing and hiring and stuff. And one of the things that the presenter said is anybody can be a protected class. It used to be, race, gender, sexual orientation, protected class. But you can find anything to get yourself under a protected class. And what does it do? It hinders the population we are trying to uplift. I find it disheartening where there are people who really, really need these loans. Now, let me tell you something. I'm complaining right now because my daughter is in school. I barely get any financial aid. None. Actually, I get none. She gets some student loans and I got to pay out of my pocket. Yes, I might complain, but at the end of the day, I still can come up with it. And so I should stop complaining because I can come up with it. I can do something. But there are people, real people out there who are brilliant. Our students are brilliant. Our students can start their own businesses and do a lot of things. And what happens? They don't have the money to elevate themselves. And they go for these programs or these loans, and they're being taken from people who can afford to do what they have to do. It's just everybody wants to get, a piece of pie. Why would I want to pay?
So isn't the dividing line there the difference between equity and equality?
Yes.
Mhm.
There was a couple years ago, there was this, it was either TikTok or a Facebook thing or a meme or something, when people were looking at the difference between equity and equality. Equality is you give somebody the same thing no matter what, even if they don't need it. And I don't know if you remember the meme where there was a shorter guy, a middle-sized guy that was in the middle height, and then there was a tall guy, but they all gave them the exact same height of a box to stand over so they could see over the fence. Now, the taller guy and the middle guy did not need it. And even though they gave them equal boxes, the shorter guy barely could see over. But when you talk about equity, that means I'm going to give the shorter guy a bigger box. I'm going to give the middle guy a smaller box. And I'm not going to give the taller guy a box at all because he can clearly see over the fence.
Mhm.
And that is what we have to start thinking about. We all want to keep money in our pocket. I do. I cry every time I see the bill for University of Wisconsin Oshkosh. But I know at the end of the day, I am blessed to be able to do it.
Mhm.
But what about those people who are not even blessed to do it? I've seen some kids who are crying because they are so wanting to be educated. They want a better life. And because of some of these rules that's being changed, they have no way to get there. And the funny thing is, we're not looking at like legacies where you get in because you're a legacy. We're not looking at those things. We're just looking at, and it always seems to hurt Black, Brown, Native Americans the most.
Mhm.
Kiara, I'm
Tamika?
sad. My heart hurt for our community and why people would do stuff like this. It ends up being that no one is looking out for our babies. We should be on the phone calling our representatives, calling other representatives. Usually they don't, but making sure we in the Senator Latanya Johnson, Chris Larson, Senator Chris Larson, Carpenter, um, Representative Dora Drake, Representative Darren Madison, Representative Chris Sinicki, Representative Supreme Umakunde, more. I had to add that in. Who
Lakeisha,
else there?
Representative.
Representative Lakeisha Myers, Representative Kaylin Haywood.
Mhm.
Who else am I missing in the Milwaukee area? Representative Marissa Bell Cabrera, Representative Sylvia Ortiz, Representative Ryan Clancy.
Mhm. And
These
there's
are
so much more stuff that they can be working on.
we have to start talking to them.
Mhm.
We have to organize. One of the things that we talk about in our Civics 101 class is how to organize around a issue. And the thing is, if one person call an alderman or a state rep or a senator, they're gonna put it in there. They're gonna log it that this is what you said, and maybe this one person. But if you get maybe 10 people, all of a sudden it's like, well, let me see about this. But if you get 20, 30, 50 people that are saying the same thing and actually making a campaign, doing a social justice or social media campaign, doing a writing campaign, they have to pay attention.
Mhm.
Now, with the legislature, we'll see what it looks like after redistricting, but they have to pay attention. We have to force our representatives to do what we ask them to do. And their job is to
Right.
be policy makers.
Right.
We are telling them what policy we want, and they have to listen and make that policy happen.
Trying to figure out how did they come up with this policy? Who was it affecting so bad?
Do we need to make any time for a break? Oh, sometimes Latoya be asking rhetorical questions and she look at me and I be she know the answer to that, but I ain't gonna say it out loud.
No, other people don't though.
Yeah, but we ain't gonna say it out loud.
Mhm.
This is Be a Voice on 860 AM and 106.5 FM.
Yay! She got it.
I love you, Kian. back to Be a Voice. I don't know. He don't be giving me the look like, ah.
You over here staring. I thought you saw the buttons get pushed like bam, bam.
I don't know what you're doing, because you
and
know
you
why?
got your glasses on. I'm just
You
saying.
know why? Because you the producer, and all I do is listen to you.
All I do is think of you, day and night, day and night.
I didn't say all that.
I can't get you off of my mind.
Back to the topic.
Oh shoot.
They have issues.
Me and Keon.
Should we put that in as a Keon will be singing at
I
the
will be
gala.
Flavor Flav of the
would be
gala.
hilarious.
He's gonna be one of the auction items.
His first solo song.
No,
Oh,
no,
that'd be nice.
no,
That'd
we
be nice.
don't want that on
Everybody
the
love a
radio.
teddy bear. I'm like, don't do that.
Where's my
Please.
gift?
They be asking for the gift at 10 o'clock, 10:30.
All is your playground, baby.
And on that note, Joe, let's go back to some serious issues of this. I'm kind of church hurt, about this because our kids need this. I remember, and I talk a lot about my daughter, but she got into quite a few schools, HBCU. And one of a couple of schools, they were like, okay, she got in. We're giving you, I think it was $10,000-$15,000 scholarship. We was like, dude, we excited. All you have to do is $34,000 Plan Plus loan. I was like, Jada, UW system is really good. But there's ways to get through, and I know I learned this from Michelle and Senator Taylor and some of the other people, where you can get go in for agriculture, whatever you want to do, ag business, get your full degree and do whatever you want with it, and it's a full ride. And that's what you just have to figure out, how to maneuver the system. But you shouldn't have to maneuver this much.
No, I mean, just breaking it down a little bit and looking at some of the programs that it affects. Minority teacher loan program. Historically, that was a $10,000 a year loan that was 25% of that was forgiven every year that the student was in school. So essentially, it turns from a loan to a grant. So those opportunities like that, we talk about, teacher shortages and our need for more teachers in the community. But this kind of prevents minorities, and hinders minorities and puts roadblocks in front of minorities to get to opt into a wonderful program like this. $10,000 a year that's forgiven 25% of the loan each year. Each school year the loan recipient's a full-time student. So these are some really big programs. It's not just one or two. There's several there that this is really going to have an impact, I think, on our community.
And I actually think it's going to have an impact not just on race, but also it's going to get into people who are low income. And I'm talking about not just race or black, brown, BIPOC. I'm talking about the low income white community.
Mm-hmm.
Now they might have 2-family households, and they just might be economically not all there, but are they going to get those loans? Or is somebody who just got moved and their parents got divorced and they had a crisis, will they get the money? I just think this is far-fetched, but it's not that far-fetched. It seems like once we give them an inch to do something, then they take a foot and then a yard and then a mile, and then they're doing damage that cannot be reversed. But we're gonna keep you informed. We're gonna try to come with some policies that are right there. So I would suggest you guys please call your elected representatives. And vote. Now, we have a primary on February 20th. We are trying to schedule some of the candidates that are on the ballot on the primary, and then after that we'll go to the candidates that are on the general. But this is very important. People forget to do the primaries, like, oh, this is just a primary. But what happens if your favorite candidate, because you didn't vote, doesn't get to be the top two? And that might been the, oh, they got this, they got this. I know a lot of people like them. But if a whole bunch of people are saying, oh, a lot of people like them, they should get on the ballot, and you don't go vote, and then all of a sudden you end up without your favorite candidate, and you assume that they're going to make it, they're not on the ballot because, you didn't go out there and vote. Voting this is how you exercise your thoughts. You find a candidate and you say, this candidate aligns the most with what I believe. Now, we're not saying that you're going, and I will always harp on this, you will not get someone that is 100%, unless you the candidate. And sometimes I'd look at myself and be like, well, I don't believe that, but my constituents do, and I'm there to represent them and not me personally. But if you look at that and say, you know what, and I always tell people to write your top 10 most important issues, whether it be local, um, state, federal, school board, and see what the candidates are saying, see what they support, see what they don't support, and then make a little check mark. And whoever aligns with you the most, that's who you should vote for. That is the easiest way, I believe, to really look at it. So you're not a one issue voter. You're not listening to one particular way of thinking or not. You're just going to really do some research. And sometimes I've heard people say, I don't have time for all that. But guess what? This is your life. This is a couple of minutes. It might be an hour for you to research these candidates. But you have these representatives. You're going to have the county supervisor for 2 years. You're going to have the alder person that is in for 4 years, depending on where you are. You're going to have that assembly person for 4 years. You're going to have that senator or the assembly for 2 years, the senator for 4 years. We have a U.S. Senate race. That person's in for 6 years. We're going to have a presidential election in the primaries in April, the elections in November. But guess what? That's 4 years of your life. So to take an hour or two to research these people, it's worth it because you're going to have these people for years to come. And it's nothing you can do. And you got to at least have them for a year because you can't even recall somebody for a year after they've been in office. So you're stuck with them at least one full year, no matter what they do. They could act a stone fool 2 days after they get sworn in and you can't do anything. So you really want to look and see what we're doing. Now I know we're gonna go back, and we're gonna try to have some policy stuff on Tuesday, so you'll know. Sometime it may switch up, but the policy part is the best, and what we're doing. But I'm gonna go back a little bit to Wisconsin Voices and our gala, in the sense of yesterday you met uh, Veronica. She's with Share the Love. She was one of our recipients of the Community Building Community Award. We gave 2 of those away, and we really want to highlight the people that received those awards, and then the people that are going to receive those awards this year. And we're not asking for anybody's opinion. Wisconsin Voices knows who those people are in our organization. This is not my decision. We go as a group and we say, what organization really did we feel really built the community? What organization really is our advocacy, or who's our community hero? Well, on the line, we have our last year's community hero. And I think she might She might get on Keon because he was trying to talk stuff. Well, let's
Don't
get her on the
start. Tell me,
line.
she's Sister Herrera. You know she's an agitator and an
No, I
aggravator.
ain't.
You
I got
already know.
witnesses.
That's fine.
Sister
We
Herrera.
go back 45 years.
Yes, it's always good to be an agitator because that's how you change things.
Thank you.
Over through the years.
Well, for our listeners here on Be a Voice, um, Sister Jeanette Herrera was our community hero last year. She has been doing this work for, I won't say how many years, but it's been a long, long time. And she just touches so many parts of the community. And guess what? Never asked for recognition, never asked for pay, but she should be getting paid. Never asked for the things that, that sometimes we ask for. She is just there all the time. Welcome, Sister Herrera. How are you?
I I am doing fine, and I thank you so much for having me. I thank you so much for the award and honoring me. Like I said, it's really not about me, but it's the legacy that you leave behind. So um, I just appreciate you all recognizing me.
I
Um,
remember when she gave her speech. Well, let me tell you how she was doing it though. She came here. Wait a minute. She came and she was on her phone or she was doing something, and I'm up there doing an introduction to her, and she was listening. And every once in a while, when I hit a specific thing, because I think I talked about Black Panthers or I talked about something, and she looked up and then she looked down, and Michelle like tapped her on the shoulder. I think you should listen to this. So she put her phone down and she started listening a little bit more. And when I said her name, she was looking around like, oh, somebody got the same name I did almost. I think she was 100% surprised. But then she gave us the great educational speech about reparations and just wanting to be part of history. You remember that speech?
I remember that speech, and um, I'm already a history maker, so um, because I've been in this movement, like I said, all my life, and that's all I know. I can't change anybody else until I change myself. So I'm working on me constantly. Telling the brothers don't call brother by their name. I told Muhib and Quab and all the rest of them, you're a king, kings and queens. I said, princes and princess. And I said, when you do that, it makes a difference. And so they don't start calling people kings and queens now out there, brothers and sisters.
So there was a point that I have heard your story, and it's so inspirational. You were
Mm-hmm.
teaching on Atkinson. You
Yes,
you
1220 West Atkinson in the duplex. Yes.
you did.
Created a classroom. I created an atmosphere for my babies. Those are the ones who was put out in different schools, and they were there just babysitting, and I prayed about it. So Martell, Bishop, um, God, son, I guess godson. But anyway, him and my son were really good friends in this day. And he's like my son, So he asked me about helping helping the babies over there, and then I said, well, I got to pray about it. So, and I thought, well, all money ain't good money. If I stay not helping my babies, I stay and help my. If I go and help my babies, that's what I need to do, because we are leaving our babies in the hands of someone else and not being responsible for them. Whatever we get out of our babies, we deserve it. So I took those pages, created classrooms. I had them to put pictures of them, and I wrote a curriculum, pick books that represented them, and they would bring the Terra Nova test to me from DPI, and of course, I was monitored. They passed the writing proficiency and the math proficiency. I got Tony, different people to come and help me. They saw the vision and they came and helped. Whether they needed Spanish. And my friend, he was an army brat, and he said, I would teach the French and Spanish. And so I graduated 100% in that building. So, and I would take them, put them on the bus, take them to the King Center for their FIA. I made sure that they would be able to compete globally. They got the opportunity to go to the Bahamas, learning how to go through customs and how to because it ain't just a classroom. They have to have an experience,
So you
globally,
did
so they'll be able to. Yeah.
you gave them not just a classroom experience, but you educated them on life experiences, making sure that they had access to things they may not have been able to get access to if it wasn't for you and the work you were doing.
Yeah, some of them hadn't even been off their porch. They didn't have no experience, and I would take them to different places, to make sure that, and I would tell them, they said, well, we have to raise some money. And I said, well, these preachers and all these folks say they love you. So we just gonna go to them and ask them to sponsor you, because we gonna get to the Bahamas, or we gonna get down south to the black colleges, so they say. So I took them we went to the colleges, and we went around there. We even went to Springfield, Illinois, where Abraham Lincoln was born. And I wanted to explain to them that, he didn't advocate to free anybody. So, what I'm saying.
I know.
So I said, so please stop it.
Well,
So
I
I
just
told them the story of Lincoln, and then in the history book, the 16th president, when he said, when Ulysses S. Grant, the Northern Colonel, and Robert E. Lee, when they lost the war, the Southern states lost the war. Then they said they're gonna secede the Union, right? And so, because they're gonna start their own government, and so then Lincoln told them, "Well, I'll crush you like an anaconda snake." Now that's right there in the history book. Ain't nobody gonna teach you that, right? And if you don't come back, if you secede the Union, don't come back to the Union, I'll crush you like an anaconda snake. You know what that does? Squeeze you to death. And so, he said, if you come back, I will not free the Negroes. You can keep your Negro slaves. That's what he said. You can keep, and he said, you keep your horses, you keep your ammunition, because actually they lost the war, and not really because they supported one another, because they didn't want our ancestors to run off.
well,
Okay,
you have so a plethora of knowledge. You have so much knowledge about just not even just national history, black history, was
right.
Milwaukee, a lot of Milwaukee history. I have seen you work with organizations. I know you are tirelessly working in June for Juneteenth. I see you from sun up to sundown with
Yeah,
NorCal, working with them. I've seen you at Garfield Days working through that. Your our Martin Luther King celebration you do. I've seen you at
it's
what
so
is
many things.
what
Father's
is
Day,
the thing in December?
the Father's
Kwanzaa
Day
events.
feast.
I've seen you
Um,
so many places and so
yeah.
many things. But this is why, as we were looking around trying to find somebody for our first hero, you were definitely like top choice. I had never seen you. I know you may have got a lot of accolades and awards before, but we wanted to give you that because you are the epitome of who Wisconsin Voices wants to be. We want to get in there. We want to try to help the community do what we can. We can't save everybody, but we can sure give them a lift, give them a little helping hand. Maybe they need just a boost. And that's
I
what
just
we're
want,
trying to do.
yeah, I just want to get off of me because I'm good.
But
I
this
just
is
want to talk.
nope, you can't get, because that is why it's called community hero, because most of the community heroes don't want to talk about themselves. So I just will let us talk. I'm gonna be done because we gotta get to the
I just
last
need to
part of our
say
show.
something about when I just need to say this here. I'm sorry to interrupt,
Oh
but I
no.
just need to say this. The reason I say I wanted to get off of me because my dad never got the opportunity to vote, and my mom got the opportunity when she came to Milwaukee because they were sharecroppers
Hmm.
and on the you were on Delma Whaley's plantation, and my dad never got the opportunity, died early. And I just want to say, when I heard you say to, or when you were speaking about the voting, you said search and because it's about you. You want to vote for people that that you like, and I just want to say, no, it shouldn't be a personal thing. You got to look at the nation building the whole of your people. What you need to do is, yeah, you research that person, but you can't take this here personal. And I don't take this here voting personally because I know that I have a lot of work to do to try to make sure that my dad didn't die in vain. And so when I look at other people, like I said, when I go to get the 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 thing signed for people to run for office, when I go and I hear some people saying to me, "Well, I'm not gonna sign it because I don't like her or I don't like him." And I said, when you take this personal, you would never get the people that you need in the community to vote for. I said, because it ain't about you.
Well,
So when
thank
you
you.
said you like the person and all that stuff, no,
Well, I
no, you
didn't.
look
I
at
ain't
what that
never said I
person
like a
does,
person. I said
what that person
who
does
aligns
for the
best
people,
with
the
you.
whole of the people, not just you.
Well, I thank you so much, Sister Herrera. We have just a few more minutes. I thank you for
Okay,
being here. We got a
okay.
couple of announcements before we get out of here. Um, I hope to see you at our gala. I know she's gonna be there. If y'all want to come and meet Miss Sister Herrera, please come to our gala. It's February 16th at Bavarian Beer House from 5 to 10. We'll be back in a minute. 860 WNOV, be a voice. Got just a couple of announcements. One of our partners, Dominican Center, and actually, it's a group of our partners. Uh, Sherman Park Association, Dominican Center, Amani United, Northwest Side CDC, along with Wisconsin Voices. Fond du Lac bid is hosting a candidate forum for District 7 on February 3rd, 2024, from 11 to 1. And it's at the Ambassador Center, Milwaukee. That's 3725 North Sherman Boulevard, formerly known as Park Lawn Assembly of God. These are quite a few of our partners, and they are trying to put together a forum so you can hear what the candidates have to say. Again, that is February 3rd, 2024, at Ambassador Center, Milwaukee, 3725 North Sherman Boulevard, formerly known as Park Lawn Assembly of God. If you have any questions, you can go over to wisconsinvoices.org and click on the calendar for the 3rd, and it'll have the flyer there.
And that's this Saturday.
That's this Saturday. Be educated. educate yourself on the candidates that are out there. Now, I just want to say that we won't be seeing Brian anymore this week or hearing from Brian. Brian, what you finna do?
My cousin down in from South Carolina, well, San Diego is having his bachelor party in Denver, so I'll be in Denver. My first exploration through the mountains, so I'll be up there this coming up weekend. Should be a nice experience.
We'll see you Monday.
Yeah, I'll be back Tuesday. I'm going with his half South Carolina, half California squad, so it's gonna be an interesting turnout, to say the least. It's gonna be like a frat house, and I've never lived in a frat house before. I'm not even a fan of frat houses.
Toga.
Well, I love y'all very much. I love this doing the work we do. We got my people and Joe.
Shout out Angelita Adams. I heard she just tapped in. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Who tapped in?
My auntie, Angelita Adams.
Oh,
Shout out
hey,
Adams
Auntie.
Auto Body as well. I know they listening to us too. That's my grand.
Hey,
That's my.
they can't.
Uncle Cleo.
We can't get no. We got ads. Just, you can't be giving no free
So it's a free ad.
advertising.
They go like, oh, we know about 50 Center. They know, the whole city know.
All right, WNOV, be a voice, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. See you on Friday.